Greetings, folks. This is DC Investing. I've reached financial independence and I talk about topics to help others on their pathway to financial independence. And today is a warning to Robinhood investors. And I am a Robinhood investor, and I learned something about my accounts this year that made me quite concerned. And knowledge is power. The thing that I learned, I did do some actions to protect myself a little bit more, but I just want all of you guys to know of the risks so that you can make your own determinations on whether or not you want to continue being a Robinhood investor or not. And so basically the topic at hand is on stock lending. And if you are a margin account investor at Robinhood, you are a stock lender. And it's kind of deceptive the way that they have done this, because they give you the ability to opt in or out of stock lending. But in their clause in the margin agreement at the very bottom of item number 7, which is hypothecation, it very clearly states that Robinhood can borrow themselves any account, any stock that you have in a margin account, and they can also lend out any security that you have in a margin account. And so if you have a margin account at Robinhood, you are de facto a stock lender. Now, why is that concerning? And the thing that I did when I found out that this occurred, and I found it out on my tax return this year. This is the first year I've done Robinhood investing, and I got something called substitute payments in lieu of dividends and interest. And I was like, what in the world is this? I had to go look it up. And basically, I learned that Robinhood lent out a considerable amount of the shares that I had in my margin account to, I guess, short investors. Um, and then they paid dividends to me, but it changed from a qualified dividend or a return of capital into substitute payments, which counts as miscellaneous income. So you get hit on your taxes with those. So I got this, had to learn about it. I didn't like it. Found out that there's nothing I can do to stop Robinhood from lending out my stock. It kind of ticks me off. And so I made a cash account and moved 2/3 of my funds over to the cash account. But really the only reason why I got Robinhood in the first place is because I wanted to do a margin investing strategy. So I still left some of my money in that margin account, just enough to not get a margin call. But I'm kind of ticked at Robinhood because they're really sneaky about this. I don't think it's very ethical. I know it's legal, it's just not very ethical. So what's the other reason why you might not want to have a margin account at Robinhood? Well, and it has to do with your SPIC insurance. And what basically SPIC will insure a brokerage account up to $500,000. And originally, when I moved, I've been a long time Fidelity investor, but at Fidelity, my brokerage account has gotten larger than that $500,000 amount. So I realized I have some risk at Fidelity. Should Fidelity go bankrupt, then only $500,000 is insured by SPIC insurance. But Fidelity is huge. I don't think that'll ever happen. They're a well-run institution, but who knows? Anything can happen. So I felt like pulling some of the money out of Fidelity and putting it into Robinhood gave me a little more protection, because it's your SPIC insurance goes per account at a different brokerage. So you can have $500,000 of brokerage account protection at Fidelity, and 500 at Robinhood, and 500 at Webull, and 500 at Schwab, and on and on. And your retirement accounts are different. So like your IRA gets a separate $500,000 protection than your brokerage account, than your 401k account. So SPIC insurance is a big deal, particularly at a company like Robinhood, where I don't trust them at all. Yet here I am, an investor of them. But the fact that I was SPIC insured made me feel safe, and so I transferred over something like $300,000, maybe a little more, to Robinhood, and then used that to borrow against for margin investing because I really like their margin rates. But here's the key. Once you have a security that gets lent out, then SPIC insurance no longer covers you. So let's say you have $100,000 of of value in your Robinhood margin account. Well, Robinhood turns around and lends out $100,000 of your shares. You don't know that that's happening because they don't show you any difference, and they still show your balance at 100,000. It'll go up or go down, but you really don't own those shares anymore. And because they lent the shares out, you're no longer covered by SPIC insurance. So that's something really to kind of think about and understand. So Robinhood, in their stock lending agreement, says that whenever they lend out shares, they will take an equal amount of dollars and put them into a bank account with a separate bank that should, in theory, cover the amount that has been lent out. And should Robinhood fail, then you have claim on that bank account that you then should be able to get your funds back from. But the fine print kind of states there's no guarantee that that will adequately cover you. And so particularly the risk is, let's say you loan out, you've got $100,000 in some stock, like let's say Micron, that's going up. You love it. You didn't know you were a stock lender. It was in your margin account. Robinhood lent those shares out to short sellers, who then sold them short, and they owe that stock back to Robinhood. But let's say in the meantime, Robinhood goes bankrupt. So Robinhood goes bankrupt. You go to the SPIC and say, I want my shares back. And they say, well, you don't really own those shares because Robinhood lent them out. And so your only legal recourse is to put a claim on this bank that somehow is supposed to have the value of your shares in it. But most likely that legal litigation is going to take a bunch of time. And while that happens, the value of Micron continues to go up and up and up. And so an investment that you thought would be worth $200,000, you get something less than $100,000 for, because sorry, who knows what happens with that litigation, or how long it'll take you for you to get your money back. It'd be a lot simpler if you were just SPIC insured, but there's all kinds of problems that this creates. So I just want you to know about the scenarios that could happen because you have a margin account and you became a stock lender, even though you didn't realize you were a stock lender. And this is just a feature of Robinhood. You cannot disable stock lending in a margin account. The only thing you can do is transfer your money out of the margin account into a cash account at Robinhood, or just get it out of that brokerage altogether. Now I know that like the stock value of Robinhood is going up and everything looks decent at the time, at this moment. Robinhood looks okay, but just a few years ago, they pulled the sell button from all the GameStop owners, and chances are they probably did that because the hedge fund that they had loaned all those GameStop shares to from all those margin accounts was going to go belly up, and they realized that, oh my gosh, if we don't put the stop to this, they're going to go belly up. We're going to have all these shares that are owed to us, and it's going to cause a big nightmare. So, I know that they denied that and said it's really not the case, but I just don't trust Robinhood at all. So anyhow, if you have a margin account at Robinhood, you are a stock lender. You never know how many of your shares are lent out at any one particular time. Once those shares are lent out, SPIC insurance no longer covers you. Robinhood should, in theory, put 100% of the value of your shares lent out into a bank account, but who knows how many claims there will be on that bank account, or how long it'll take to get your money back. And if the stock market continues to go up, the value in that bank account will be set. It'll be fixed at some point, and you probably cannot get the full value of your shares at that moment. So I just want you to be fully aware of the risks that you're undertaking by being a margin account investor at Robinhood. And so you can make your own decisions on, do I really want to continue having a margin account at Robinhood, or do I not? I don't think, from what I can tell, Webull will lend out your shares in a margin account unless you specifically enable that. I think some other brokerages don't give you that option, but I don't. That's the only other one that I've really investigated, and the only reason why I did is because Webull has a really low margin interest rate as well. But it's probably low because it's a Chinese-owned company, and who knows what data they're stealing or harvesting about you. So I don't know. But anyhow, you run the risk. Stock lending. You are no longer SPIC insured when that happens. The only coverage you have is some legal recourse to some bank in Chumbawamba, someplace, who knows, that you'll try to get some of your value back if Robinhood goes under or goes bankrupt. So anyhow, know your risks. You can look into all these things, ask AI about it, look at the margin agreement and stock lending agreement carefully. So know your risks, and like, subscribe. Hope you like this topic. Hope it's useful to me. When I found out about it, I took action. I still have a margin account, but I moved like $300,000 out of my margin account into a cash account at Robinhood. I still didn't move it back out because I got a bonus, transfer in bonus, that I need to leave those funds there for a couple more years. So I'll probably do that, but I was not happy about it. And I took action based upon that. So if you have a margin account at Robinhood, you are at risk. So like, subscribe. Hope this helps. We'll see you. Bye.